Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Dan.
Welcome to the Board Game Rundown. Today we've got some news, we have some Kickstarters, and we got like a short topic discussion that we're going to hit. First, let's talk about some games we played.
Oh, yeah. I have played so many games this week.
Me
I don't even know
too.
if I'm going to be able to list them all.
Me
it's
too.
kind of crazy.
So thank goodness for Tabletop Simulator.
That's true, but also, thank goodness for a little family reunion on the 4th of July.
Yep, I had one of those too. So what did you play?
So the first thing, the little stuff, right? So I played just one.
Yep.
I played quite a bit of Conclusio.
With
the family. My family liked it. Yeah, my family liked it quite a bit.
Conclusio's good.
And One Night in Gotham.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I played quite a bit of that.
Is that a new game?
Yeah, it's a new game. So those are like the small ones, I think.
Okay.
That's all the small ones. Oh, and technically, Guess Who?
We played a lot of Guess Who.
That would be a small one.
You're going to go with the smaller ones. Yeah.
But that's all my small ones. What about you? Like Small Baby?
Small games. We played For Sale. Mm-hmm. Still love it.
Sure.
Machikoro, I consider a small game. Pretty light, but I really enjoy it. What else did we play? Now I'm drawing blanks. Guess Who? Dice Forge. We played Dice Forge. Now we're like scaling up.
Yeah, you're going up. Right? You're going up. That's
scaling
fine.
Up. And then on the slightly heavier side, we played Chinatown. I played Chinatown.
Yeah, I mean, I would say heavier just because the amount of if you want to win, the amount of crunchy math and stuff you got to be doing throughout the game and stuff.
I do no math and just all BS.
Well, you came in last, so.
Yeah, valid. It was a very valid strategy. Yeah. Clearly, it worked very well for me.
No, Chinatown was cool.
Chinatown was a lot of fun.
I don't know how much I'd like to play it just because of the mathiness of it. That's the same thing with Power Grid, right? When I played Power Grid, I liked it quite a bit, but I was like, this game's mathy. I don't know how much I'm going to want to play this.
I guess for me, I don't want to spend all my time doing the math. I just want to have fun with the wheeling and dealing and trying to put some stuff together. I don't want to devote a half an hour each turn.
Sure, and I mean, it's not like I did, right?
By no means.
In the last round, I got pretty mathy because I was like, okay, because it's one of those, okay, we're last round, time to min-max.
Right. No, I get that. I get that.
I was just saying in general, though, when we were playing Conclusio with my family, I was telling him how it's you can technically pay attention to all the cards that have been played and try to math out what your card could be. And I was like, I've never done that, though. That's so much work. I'd rather just guess, but I've never won.
Sure.
And then that game, there was 4 of us playing. So on the next 3 turns, I stood there staring at the table, and I was like, and I did all the math, and I said, okay, I'm going to guess my card. And they were like, what? Because it was still pretty early in the game, and I said, is it this? And they said, how did you do that? And I was like, okay, so it is totally possible to math this out if you get lucky and people have played the right cards.
Sure.
So yeah.
So you looked like a stable genius for a minute.
For a second, yeah, they were a little annoyed.
Yeah, I bet.
But so it's cool that I don't love the min-max strategy kind of thing, but sometimes you can pull it off and it feels good.
Right. No, and I don't mind if you want to take a few minutes on your turn, but I do know people that I would not play those kind of games with because I don't want to wait that long. I just want to play. Oh, we also played Las Vegas. Have you played Las Vegas?
No, I have
It's
not.
a fun dice
Very
game.
famous. Didn't that just get remade or something?
It did in a mass market kind of model, and it comes in a cube.
I thought we talked about
now,
that.
It's good. I hate the funky box sizes because my shelves, tend to be more standard box sizes. I have an old version of Las Vegas, so it's just the old flat, rectangular box. But
I'm trying to think. I've also played Underwater Cities.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
We need to play that.
I know. Well, now I own it because it took us too long to get it to the table again.
It did.
But I played that a couple times again. I still like it a lot. It goes a little long. Mm-hmm. I even feel like it's longer than Terraforming Mars right now, and that's my biggest problem with Terraforming Mars is how long it can go. Mm-hmm. But every time I've played Underwater Cities, I've obviously taught every other person playing. So that's part of it. Heavier games, that might be it.
And I'm drawing a blank.
Resistance. I played Resistance. Not heavy, but I did play Resistance.
Sure. I'm drawing a blank. I played one other game on Tabletop Simulator yesterday morning, but Chinatown kind of overwhelmed it, and I don't remember what game it was.
Sure. Oh, yeah, you played something earlier in the day with Danny.
Yep.
He was talking about it, too. He said that...
We played that and Chinatown.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to play Chinatown again.
Yeah.
So Danny will be providing a list of top 5 games named Chinatown.
Correct.
Later.
Cannot wait.
So we're going to go to board game news.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got 2 points of pretty interesting news. So For anybody that's been to a board game convention, if you've walked by a Stronghold Games booth, there's a good chance you've seen Stephen Bonacore standing outside in his red polo. I have had the opportunity to meet him a couple times and actually play some games with him. I personally like the dude. I don't know if he saw me, he could pick me out of a crowd or anything like that. Like, I'm not claiming that kind of familiarity with him, but I have had the opportunity to hang out with him a little bit, and he's a fun guy. He's been planning this retirement for like 2 years. So someone from Indie Board and Cards is going to now take over.
Is that
Stronghold
official
Games.
now?
Yeah.
I heard that was heavily rumored.
Well, I'm pretty sure because those companies merged.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that was in the works from when he started planning, because I've heard him talk about specifically the August 1st of this year is when 2020 is when he is stepping down and retiring. That is the exact 2-year anniversary from.
Nice.
And that was planned that way. But anyways, the dude has, he's got a podcast, Board Games Insider, and he's not stopping doing any of that. Like, he's still going to be very involved. He's just retiring from the business side of things.
I bet he's going to be in Dice Tower stuff a lot now.
Oh, tons. Because him and Vassal have like a legendary.
Good friends.
Right. They have this legendary rivalry where they hate each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're super close. And anyways, he's a good dude. We wish him well. I look forward to also now seeing him. Maybe I'll have more time to hang out.
Yeah,
like
I obviously do not know him, but I've followed him for a long time, right, on both Twitter, and I watch the Dice Tower stuff, and he just seems like a genuinely just nice person who's horrible at teaching board games.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Actually, we played The Godfather together, and with some other guys, and he's from like New York, New Jersey area. So like the whole time he's doing a thing, you know, it was really hilarious. Like he was in character the whole time. We all swore at each other a whole bunch. It was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. Wow. Good times.
Real mature. That's fine.
My second bit of news, a pseudo controversial character in the board game industry is going to be back in the spotlight.
Okay.
Will Wheaton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear about this.
He has accepted a position with Bicycle Games. So like the card maker. He is now the global board game ambassador for Bicycle, and they're starting a new line of board and card games called Games by Bicycle. They've got like 6 titles that they're getting ready to launch. 2 of them are like adult themed party games, which would be interesting, like more along the lines of like Cards Against Humanity or you know, like that kind of stuff. The games all look pretty light, but could be fun. But I didn't do a ton of research into them because I figure that as the details and more stuff comes out. But it'll be interesting to see what Will Wheaton does. He kind of disappeared after Tabletop went away. So let's see what happens.
Is he still Geek and Sundry?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Because I haven't heard about him since Geek and Sundry, so I wasn't sure.
No, when that all got bought out.
Yeah. Okay.
Like everything went.
Okay.
But not only with him, like to be fair to him, like Felicia Day and her brother took off as well. So who knows, right?
I never really followed Geek and Sundry. Just knew that stuff had happened.
I enjoyed episodes of Tabletop.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I watched from them.
Right? Yeah. But.
Okay, I got a couple little things here.
Let's hear.
Little announcements that were made this week is Reiner Knizia's Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Anniversary Edition coming out Q4 this year. They are replacing some pieces with upgraded miniature type pieces, but they say all game mechanics and stuff will stay the same.
That's pertinent to today.
I know. But so Lord of the Rings, the game, very influential. People talk about all the time alongside Pandemic in the cooperative board game scene. So yeah, people can get their hands on that again. A nice upgraded anniversary edition.
Sure.
And then Viticulture is coming to your phone.
Yay! Viticulture.
That's about
it.
It's
so elegant.
Viticulture is coming to digital. Now it'll be even more elegant.
Google and iOS.
Yeah, Google and iOS, and they said Steam eventually. Wow, that's weird. I guess Steam usually gets all the good games first. I know. Yeah, and in their packs and stuff. So the last one, this is actually semi-long. I'm going to try to get through this kind of quick. But did you hear about Pendulum?
Nope. Oh, wait.
Stonemaier.
New Stonemaier game. I have only just heard about it and nothing else.
So, Stonemaier has announced a new game coming out called Pendulum. It is a turnless, asymmetric worker placement time optimization game.
Nice.
Yeah. So real time and asymmetric worker placement. That's what gets this guy.
Boom.
I hear that and I'm like, and what is this game?
Right.
So I wrote down their little description. Each player is a powerful, unique noble vying to succeed the timeless king as the true ruler of, I'm going to say, Dunya. Okay. So just a bunch of worker placement, area control, real time, getting resources and going up tracks.
Nice.
And of course Stonemaier would say this because they're a company, but they did say this is the highest rated prototype they've ever had.
Well, I would. Okay, maybe I'm biased because I really like Jamie Stegmaier. I believe him.
No, I believe him too. I'm just saying that why would they not say that? Like, if that's true, then you would, of course, plaster that everywhere.
Right. I don't think that they blow smoke, though.
Exactly.
And puff up things.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. It's, if I would do the same thing, right? If someone told me, like, Dan, this is the best thing I've ever had, I'd be like, guys, everyone says the best thing they've ever had. Like, why would I not say that? So, but that's it. Little news things there.
I love it.
I wanted to go through that one really fast because I had a lot of notes.
Way to catch Pendulum.
Yeah.
I should have said something.
Yeah, I thought,
that's definitely
we both like Stonemaier quite a bit.
Yep.
So I wanted to talk about that.
Oh, and for my bit of news, the Will Wheaton bit, I got to thank Gonzo. Gonzo sent me that.
Oh,
He
yeah?
sent me a link.
Oh,
He's like,
no wonder
hey.
I didn't know it. He didn't send it to me.
Nope. And I was like, thanks for the scoop.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. That is how he talks when he's not on camera.
Yeah. This is my character voice.
Exactly.
All right. So Kickstarters. What do you got?
What do you got?
I got Bupkis.
Wow. Thanks for hosting, Tim. Okay.
You're welcome. I'm going to be the heavy hitter on the topic.
Exactly. You will be. I will be like, oh.
Exactly.
Okay. So first of all, Shelfie Stacker. Yeah.
Heard about this.
Yeah. So Arcus Games. This is their first Kickstarter. 1 to 4 players. 30 plus minutes. It's a weird number. I wrote that down. I feel like I could have narrowed that down.
Well, you could have also just said that a little more concisely. You look like 30.
While I was reading it, I was like, why did I write? That's such a weird thing to write.
Because it just says 30 plus.
I guess
minutes.
it probably does.
I mean, every game essentially could be 30 plus minutes, right?
Exactly.
5 plus minutes.
Yeah, everything is 1 second plus. Okay, 5 days left, funded, $40. So what this game is it gets vibes of role player to me.
Okay.
Right? So one person puts dice on these little coaster looking things that look like cardboard shipping boxes, right? Okay. And then you have a card of 8 players that I think there's like 12 players, so you won't have every player in everyone's hand. There are 7 rounds, so you will play 7 of your 8 characters.
Okay.
The characters each give you a special ability. So everyone plays a card, and they have an initiative number, and that initiative number is who gets to take the dice first, the coaster, the box first that they want. Then you are putting them very role player style on these things, and you're creating a board game collection, right? That's what the whole game is. So you're stacking them on these shelves, and it looks like from all the pictures and everything that they have to be light colors. So like if you start orange in column 1, you have to do orange games in column 1.
So is this a Sagrada that you would be interested in?
Yes, I was gonna say that. This looks very Sagrada and role player kind of combined. Then the character you play that turn also gives you a special ability, like in role player, where it's like you can flip this die to the opposite number,
right on.
You can re-roll 1 die, blah blah blah. And then obviously next turn you'll play a new character. The thing that I thought was really funny was if you cannot play a die, so if you took a coaster, but you're like, let's say your green column is full and you have a green die, you can't place that, then it goes on your shelf of shame. And it will be like negative points whatever at the end of the game. Like I thought that was really thematic, really cool.
But a
Shelfie Stacker, yes, a interestingly themed Sagrada kind of thing. I liked that quite a bit.
I like Sagrada.
That's it. Okay, this one, just a small thing that I thought was really interesting. No more dice, randomization devices. Right?
Okay.
So this is a little rectangle thing that is like a 3D thing, like 2 plates of glass or plastic, probably, with shapes that says 20, 10, 8 in it, and it's filled with beads, a bunch of black beads in each section and 1 red bead. And you shake it up and you set it down, and the beads funnel into a tunnel, and then wherever the red dot is what you rolled. So it replaces all your dice that you would need for RPGs and stuff on this little like shake, shake, shake set, and you roll all your dice at once. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, weird.
So it only replaces 1 of each die, unfortunately, unless they make special sets for because you need 3d6 for d6 systems.
So this is for the rare gamer that is like, I don't want to buy a bunch of dice.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's weird. Don't get me wrong. It's not like this is like everyone buy these because it's the most amazing thing. I was like, this is a weird and unique thing.
Well, I guess the other side of this is because as a former like hardcore RPGer, it would be like, look at the cool dice I just got, right?
Yeah.
So now you're like, but boom. It's like the business card part of American Psycho where they're all comparing business cards, except like, look, the numbers are raised up and,
exactly.
and glossed. So it's like, well, now I have this contraption.
Well, the only thing that I said is there has to be some way to customize it or something because otherwise, like, the amount of times that you only need like 1d8 or something and stuff like that, like you always need like 2d8.
Hold on, guys. I got to roll 5d8 for damage.
Just have they don't funnel down that
so that's
slow.
a 3. Okay.
It's instantaneous.
Go again.
No, but that's it. They're $15. It hasn't funded yet,
interesting.
but they have
I'll
a long time left. They're just cool looking, and it's very unique.
I'll look at it.
So I wanted to talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna. God, this one is so big. Hybris disordered cosmos.
Huh?
Huge.
Okay.
Huge. Well, not huge, but huge compared to everything else on this list. So this is Greek mythology mixed with not steampunk. That's the one. I was gonna say not cyberpunk.
Wait.
Mixed with steampunk.
So Lords of Hellas.
Well, that's cyberpunk. Right?
Okay.
So
okay. You're right.
That's why I wanted to say the right one. By Aurora Game Studio.
Okay.
They've made some stuff, but I don't know it. So you play as a god. So you're like Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and Athena, and you just defeated Kronos.
Sweet.
And now you guys are competing to see who will be the next leader.
Right on.
And there's just so much in this game. You get influence. You recruit followers to follow you instead of the other gods. You recruit heroes. Like I know I saw Calypso there, so you get Calypso and her abilities and stuff. You fight things like hydras and stuff like that. You build technologies. You gain energy. All on this pretty cool looking like roundish board. Everyone has their own player card thing that you can upgrade yourself by flipping over these tiles. There's so much in this game.
That sounds pretty
interesting.
interesting.
It's just the main look of it and the theme of it that I think deserves this to be looked at. And then you have to decide how heavy is this game? What all are you doing in this game for yourself? But I just thought, Hybris Disordered Cosmos, 2 to 4 players, 30 minutes per player, 18 days left. It is funded. I was actually going to wait to talk about this till next week because it's not 18 days left. But then I said, screw it, because Tim doesn't do Kickstarter anymore.
Just today.
But that's it. That's all I'm going to say about the game because I could go on for half an hour about that game.
Well, I'm going to have to look at it because that sounds pretty neat.
And then the last one I want to talk about because this is so tiny, and I heard about this on a Pretty Okay podcast.
All right. Sweet. I like Pretty Okay podcast.
Yeah. And this game's called French Toast.
Oh, yeah, that sounded really fun.
It sounded really fun to me. I don't know. I don't know if I'll actually wind up buying it or anything. Maybe eventually. But so the whole basic premise of the game is aliens have come to Earth, and the first thing they encountered was French toast.
Right.
And they took it back to their planet. And now when they revisit Earth, every time they find something new, they say, yeah, but is it as good as French toast?
Right.
And so the whole game is a word association game where you're trying to get someone to guess a word. But I could literally play it right now. I'll just think of a word. And then I'll give Tim the hint that this object is fast. And then I start the game by saying French toast. And then Tim just says any word back to me.
Right, a rabbit.
A rabbit. So then I say either if that word is closer than French toast to the word, I say that word instead, or I would just keep saying French toast. So I'll say rabbit.
Ooh, a car.
Rabbit. Or car.
Oh, okay. So if you had said...
I got so excited, I just said the word again. Car.
Race car.
That's it. See, so now, unfortunately, I just said fast. There are hints you have to choose from. You're not going to have a perfect hint for what you have. But that is the whole car, is just you being like, French toast? Car. And just repeating what the person's saying back to them. And it's just such a funny idea. I like that so much.
It's a fun party game idea.
2+ players that plays in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
or 15 seconds.
Or 15 seconds. Yeah, that was a great, you would have, so Tim and I would have 30 seconds to figure that out. And then it would go to the next team and they get to pick up where we left off. But and it's only $19.
It's pretty rad.
And they're adding cards every stretch goal.
Right.
So it just looks hilarious. I wanted to talk about French toast.
That looks like something you could even add yourself, right? Like once you get it home and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, no, that's pretty awesome.
But that's it. I wanted to talk about French toast.
I love French toast.
It's great. It really is.
No, that does sound pretty good. And that's a shout out to our buddies at the Board Game Mechanics.
Can we just point out how amazing Tim is at French Toast, by the way? He literally went rabbit car, race car. It was the exact path I needed him to take.
It is French Toast. I love rabbits, and we live in Indiana, so there's race
Good
cars,
point.
right?
Good point.
Indy 500. Boom. Done. Got it. Okay, so today's topic. Discussion. Minis. Miniatures in games. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? Are they necessary? Or are they overkill? Do you come down in the middle? Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first because you're gonna have way more to talk about, I think, right?
Probably.
So here's the thing with me. They are almost 100% not necessary. But everyone who knows me knows that one of the most important things in the hobby for me is theming, and minis are one of the biggest ways to help with theming. If you have a game that instead of having a cardboard token, you have the person, like it helps with theming so much. I could not imagine playing Lords of Hellas without miniatures.
Right.
I mean,
if you just use plastic
game.
chits,
yeah,
it would
like
be
it
boring,
is the
right?
game, like having those buildable monuments and stuff. So I think it just kind of depends on the game. It's almost not necessary. I will play a game, but like Chinatown, we played Chinatown. You know how much more I would like Chinatown if those were actually shaped like buildings instead of just tiles that said seafood on them, that game would be stunning looking. Like if that game ever came back out on Kickstarter.
Because you would do like by the end of it, you'd have this 3-dimensional city.
It would be an entire city because you're literally building blocks. It would be stunning, So does Chinatown need it? Absolutely not.
Right.
But that would increase the factor for me by 10 on that game.
Sure, and also the price.
Yeah, true, obviously. And I think that when you talk about miniatures, I think that a lot of things get ignored. Like, I think that so when you talk about miniatures, people would think about Cthulhu Wars.
Yep.
And Lords of Hellas.
Yep.
And, I don't know, games like that. But, I don't know, call me crazy, but Monopoly has miniatures,
It does.
Risk has miniatures. These games have miniatures. They like Monopoly, you could not have miniatures. It would be
right.
It would be
you could have like a red sorry pawn and
you
a
could
green.
absolutely have that. In Risk, you almost need miniatures, right? It almost makes the game to have those guys.
I mean, technically, you could just have. Again, colored cardboard discs.
God, see what I'm talking about, though? See how much more boring those games would be if you just had I'm the red squares.
Agreed. Agreed.
So that's kind of my opinion on it. I'm done talking.
Okay, see you later.
See you later.
Now for my soapbox. No, here's the thing: is anybody that games with me and knows me and has listened to me talk about games, they know I love miniatures. I came, my gaming background in high school, we started playing Warhammer. And, that's all miniatures.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is, I cannot paint to save my life. I can barely glue miniatures together. So it made Warhammer very daunting. And I rarely had a painted army, but I did have them assembled.
Oh.
Poorly. But they were assembled.
Arms in the wrong spot.
It's no, those are wood elves. Not zombies, I swear. But I still love the idea of miniatures and moving the armies around on the maps and stuff. And then so that's where I got my start. So I already have this seed planted. I was incepted at an early age, right, to love the miniatures. And I've heard them described as plastic dolls, or toys for your games. But I really enjoy a well-produced, maybe even overproduced game. I just do. But I get it. I get it when miniatures can be overkill, and if you don't need them or they're excessive, some people are put off by it.
Sure. It goes into the usability of what you're doing and the theming for me. Like I already mentioned, I've been spending a lot of time with one night games lately, right? Doing a lot of research, playing them and stuff like that. And so in one night, you have all the cards, but then you also have all those little tokens that helps you remember who people are. You can slide around the table and be like, okay, well, he said he was the tanner, but then the tanner swapped over here so that you don't have to remember everything. You can see the tokens. If those were miniatures of every character in the game, useless. Completely unnecessary.
Correct.
That's just there to up the price,
And it's overkill,
and
right?
Complete overkill, But like I said, Lords of Hellas or something like that.
So Lords of Hellas, Cthulhu Wars, other games that I really like of that ilk. Even War of the Ring, right?
Sure.
You're not going to play this huge L5R battle game, if you don't have our L5R loader, LOTR game, with just chits,
Sure.
or little cubes, like it's just not as good. It's not as good. No, I don't need miniatures for DC Deck Builder.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know how you could do it for that game, but sure.
Or Marvel Legendary, right? I mean, you just don't. You don't need them. But there are some games where they've got really nice pieces, like Villainous, for example.
Yeah.
Villainous does not need miniatures.
That's true.
Their player tokens, though, are very well made, and they're all unique to the character. Like, you instantly know, right? When you see Maleficent, you know that that's her.
And it is almost everyone's like favorite part of the game. Like when they first get into it, it's just like,
it's
those
not
things.
the power tokens?
Oh, no, that's
Garbage.
crazy.
No, but I get it. And I get that some people hate miniatures. I wish I could paint them. I have a ton of games that need painting. But like Blood Rage, right? You're not playing Blood Rage without miniatures.
Yeah.
You need miniatures for Blood Rage. It makes the game, and it makes the game fun, right? When you walk by... When I play Cthulhu Wars at a convention or like GKR Heavy Hitters, people stop and go, whoa, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to spend a lot of money on a game, and those games are both expensive.
Because that's a self-fulfilling prophecy there, though.
Right.
They're expensive because the miniatures.
They are, but
and then you say it's worth the money because the miniatures.
Yes.
So.
But, if you want to show off your game, you're proud of your collection, those are good centerpieces, to have for your collection. I don't understand the hate for them, but I do understand that everybody doesn't need them.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, if you like, just because you like Villainous, if you're playing Villainous, I'm not going to walk over and be like, this game's stupid, and like clear your whole board, right?
Are you sure?
I might, but I'll try not to.
In this conversation, I will say I wouldn't.
Instinctually, I would want to do that.
Yeah.
No, but I think like Champions of Midgard, right? I don't love Champions of Midgard personally, but I don't think it would be made better by miniatures.
I don't think so. I will say I was thinking about that earlier. Like, man, that'd be cool to have all that stuff. But like at the same time, you play the game and nothing asks for that at all.
I will say the upgraded components do help with like the food and the meat or whatever. Or
again, going from the cube.
Right.
Argument.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, here's a perfect example. Lords of Waterdeep would be worse with miniatures.
It'd be too much.
It's not even that it would be too much. It's just that the whole point is that they aren't people. Anyway.
They're pawns.
Yeah.
They're cubes to you.
They're cubes that you push around.
Right. Right. So I think there's a really good balance to be struck. And I think that, and again, all games can coexist.
Yeah.
Right. We can have One Night Ultimate Werewolf and Werewolves of Miller's Hollow, and they can still like live next to each other with Wolves
because
of Mercia
alphabetical
in the
order.
same neighborhood. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But like Caverna, right? What would you do with Caverna or Agricola? Like, you don't really need. I mean, a shaped meeple is.
I was gonna say technically that's a miniature cow, or
It's a meeple.
pig or whatever's in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's a meeple.
Yeah, well, it would be. See, meeple means miniature people, right? That's what they did for that.
guess,
So,
yeah.
so technically, it would be like mouse, and trees, wood.
You okay?
Wood.
Stroking out.
Yeah.
Call 911.
Yeah. I don't know.
But no, there's a ton of amazing games like Dark Souls. Would you play Dark Souls without the miniatures?
Is that a joke? Get out of here. Get out of here.
I'm just asking.
That game's not
right?
playable without miniatures. You
Okay.
kidding me? Oh, hey, could you play the Dark Souls video game without enemies? Ridiculous.
Whoa.
Ridiculous.
Calm down. Calm down. We're gonna
You
flip
have
this
struck a
table.
nerve, sir. No, it's funny though, because this is a conversation that people always talk about, and I don't think anyone ever changes their mind on. This is like
Sure.
this is how I feel about it, and I'm glad that you feel that way. But this is what I feel, and it's not something that you can ever like convince someone of like, no, see how the miniatures. They're just like, yeah, but I don't care.
Right.
And from the other side, be like, yeah, see how this game doesn't need. It's like, yeah, but I want pieces. So like, I don't think anyone ever changes their mind on this topic. Really.
I really like upgraded and nice components for a game, but I would still play Chinatown.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, Chinatown is little plastic Go discs
And
right?
chits.
and chits
Yeah.
and some cardboard tiles on a not that exciting board. I mean, the board's fine. I don't know what you do with the board to make it crazy.
It is a game that would be an incredible upgrade if it came out again and like went to Kickstarter.
Or are we having like a psychic flat? Are we seeing into the future?
I tend to do that. So
I think we're seeing, if with any luck,
yeah.
With any luck. But I think that miniatures are a really important part of the board game hobby. Whether you love them or hate them, they're here to stay. Right? Because Zombicide.
Roll credits.
Play Zombicide without miniatures.
Yeah.
No.
Boring.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. Now, again, I can't paint. I try sometimes, and I cheat and I do like an ink wash on stuff, and that will like bring out the depth of the miniatures. But I have some that I'm hoping to like one day kind of figure out how to paint or get somebody to paint for me. So I haven't even touched them, but I don't care. I will play with that gray unpainted hunk of plastic on my table because I still like having that gigantic piece right there.
It's literally, to me, it has nothing to do with the fact that the piece is there. It is so much theme to me. I've repeated myself so much, but like if I see, I'll just go to Dark Souls again because it has really nice things. But like, so if I see, Ornstein and Smo standing on my table, it is so much cooler and more menacing than having two little tiles that say, hey, this is Ornstein and this is Smo.
Okay, so here's what are your thoughts on like the cardboard standee?
It's way better than like a laying down thing. I like having a stand up piece and stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. It's the middle ground.
Rendered. I've seen some that are really neat, and it would be interesting to see if more games did this, where it's like the clear plastic.
Oh yeah, so that you just see the shape of the being. I've seen that. Yeah,
and but that's not super common.
Sure,
but I guess what game was it? Oh. Awaken Realms, Great Wall. Okay, they had that Kickstarter 6 months ago. They had two options for their game. They had the cardboard stand-ups, and then they had the miniatures. I opted for the miniatures.
Sure.
It was more expensive.
Even though they are basically just your workers in a worker placement game, right?
Yes and no. Okay. I mean, more or less.
I watched it played a long time ago.
But I think that for me, I will have a better experience with the plastic pieces.
Sure.
But if I went over to your house and you had the cardboard stand-up guys, I'm not going to be like,
you invited me for this?
Please. But I thought that was a really good option. So if you don't want to spend $80 on the game, you want to spend $50 on the game, and you get the cardboard guys, then that's fine. And you're good with that.
Tales of the Arabian Nights is a game that has all standees. And would the game be cooler looking if it had nice miniatures that my brother could paint for me? Yeah, but completely unnecessary. Just, right. The game doesn't need it all. The standees work perfectly. They get the point across.
Sure.
So, I don't know.
So there's a fine line between, I guess, overproduced, and even your overproduced game might be I'm like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, can I have more?
Yeah. Like,
Please, sir.
They did fine. This is acceptable level of production.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, I can't afford all this stuff, Tim. And you're like, pathetic.
I think some of it is like that automatic backlash to anything that's popular. So, Come On Games or Simon Games, they put out these Kickstarters, tons of minis and like massive stretch goals where you're getting tons and tons and tons of minis. Peterson Games does the same thing, which we will talk about in the future.
Yeah.
But I love it. Some people are just like, oh, it's so much extra stuff and it's so stupid and you don't need it. And it's like, well, no, you don't need it, but it's fun to have.
Sure.
Like my Cthulhu Wars game, right? I've got expansions still that I have not played yet, maps that I have not used. And I play that game a lot. And get that game played a lot. It is one of the most played games in my collection. And I still have stuff. And it's like, I'm fine with that because I'm going to have tons of replayability.
Sure. I'll tell you, Tim, I don't need toppings on my cheeseburger. And I don't need syrup on my waffles. But it makes it way better.
Way better.
It makes them way better.
That's a good analogy. That is a really good analogy.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, this is going to be a more of a brief episode because we've got some exciting things we're going to be talking about soon.
What's that?
In a future episode. But we do appreciate you sitting in. If you've got opinions on miniatures, let us know. Visit our friends at the Board Game Mechanics. Visit the Facebook group that we are pretty active on, the Meeple Game Society. Comment on the YouTube channel. Like, let us know what you're thinking, your thoughts, things you want to see, things you want to hear. For top 5 games named Chinatown, a list provided by Danny.
Yep.
The number 1 game he said was
Dark Moon.
Dark Moon.
Dark Moon so far. So far his top 5 list is the top 1 list.
Right.
But that's fine.
I think Danny hit his head.
Halfway through writing the list.
He's like, or fell asleep.
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly. Also, it doesn't work this week so well because Tim sucks. But check out some of the Kickstarters we talk about and say which one looks best to you in the comments, because I want to see which person brings the most interesting Kickstarters.
Now it's a competition.
Yeah, exactly. So today, obviously, I win. But, maybe next time he'll do his job.
I had better news.
That's true.
But no, thanks again, guys, for watching. We do appreciate your time. That is your most valuable commodity. Be nice to each other. This has been the Board Game Rundown. I've been Tim.
I've been Dan.
See you next time.
And you could say you're both wearing sunglasses because the future of board games
is so
bright.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.